Today, on June 15, 2025, the world is watching the Middle East with deep concern. Tensions between Iran and Israel have reached a dangerous new high. There is a real possibility of a major military conflict breaking out. The United States has warned that a massive conflict is possible, and some Israeli officials suggest a strike on Iran could happen as soon as today. This crisis began to escalate after a series of direct attacks between the two nations following the Gaza war that started in late 2023. Now, the situation is more serious than ever, with both sides preparing for what might come next. The immediate cause for this alarm is Iran's nuclear program. The United Nations nuclear watchdog recently declared that Iran has breached its obligations. This is a very serious development, the first of its kind in nearly 2 decades. In response, Iran announced it would open a new plant to enrich uranium, a key ingredient for a nuclear bomb. This has pushed the region closer to the brink. Diplomatic efforts to find a peaceful solution are underway, with talks scheduled in Oman, but hope for a breakthrough is fading fast. Iran's supreme leader has already rejected a key U.S. proposal, making a peaceful resolution much harder to achieve. In this tense environment, information is the most valuable weapon. Both Israel and its allies, including the United States, need to know exactly what Iran is doing. They need to track military movements, monitor nuclear sites, and predict potential attacks. This is not just about having soldiers and planes, it is about having the best data and the smartest technology to make sense of it all. Making the right decision depends on seeing the full picture and seeing it faster than your adversary. Every piece of intelligence, from a satellite image to a piece of digital communication, is critical. This is where a company like Palantir becomes incredibly important. In a shadow war fought with data and intelligence, Palantir provides the digital tools that can give one side a decisive edge. The company's software is designed to connect all the dots, helping military and intelligence agencies see patterns and threats that would otherwise be hidden. As the drums of war beat louder in the Middle East, the demand for this kind of advanced technology is skyrocketing. The current crisis highlights just how essential Palantir's technology is for national security in the 21st century. Palantir is not a company that builds tanks or fighter jets. Instead, it builds something arguably more powerful in today's world. A digital brain for warfare. Its main product for governments, called Gotham, is a software platform that acts as a central nervous system for military and intelligence operations. It takes huge amounts of information from many different sources like satellite photos, drone footage, spy reports, and cyber data, and puts it all in one place. This allows commanders and analysts to see a complete, real-time map of the battlefield. It helps them understand complex situations quickly and make better, faster decisions when lives are on the line. The power of Palantir's technology lies in its ability to find hidden connections. Imagine trying to track a terrorist network or predict where an enemy might launch an attack. You would have thousands of small pieces of information that, on their own, might not mean much. Palantir's software uses artificial intelligence to sift through this data and find the links. It can help identify key enemy figures, map out their networks, and even predict their next move. This gives countries like Israel a powerful advantage, allowing them to be proactive instead of just reactive in a crisis with Iran. In the context of the current Iran-Israel conflict, Palantir's tools are mission-critical. Israel would use this technology to constantly monitor Iran's nuclear facilities, looking for any signs of activity. It would help planners identify the most strategic targets for a potential strike while minimizing risk to civilians. The software could also be used to predict how Iran might retaliate, whether through missile strikes or cyber attacks, allowing Israel and its allies to prepare their defenses. It's a silent but essential part of modern defense, turning data into a protective shield and a sharp spear. This is why Palantir is considered a cornerstone of modern military power. The company has very deep relationships with the U.S. government, its allies, and their intelligence agencies. Its software is not an off-the-shelf product. It is deeply integrated into the secret workflows of national security. This creates what is known as a moat. It is very difficult for another company to come in and replace what Palantir does. In a world of growing digital threats and geopolitical instability, having this kind of digital arsenal is no longer a luxury, it is a necessity for survival. When you look at Palantir's stock, one thing stands out. It is very expensive. The stock trades at a price that is around 300 times its earnings. For most companies, This would be a major red flag for investors. But for Palantir, many investors are willing to pay this high price. The reason is simple: they are not just buying a piece of a software company. They are buying a piece of a company that is essential for national security in a world that feels increasingly dangerous. The escalating conflict between Iran and Israel is a clear example of why this technology is in such high demand. Investors see Palantir as a key player in the modern AI arms race. As conflicts become more about technology and data, Palantir is selling the picks and shovels for this new kind of warfare. Every time a new global crisis emerges, whether in the Middle East, Ukraine, or the Asia-Pacific, the demand for Palantir's services grows. This creates a powerful narrative for the company's future growth. Investors are betting that the world will continue to be a dangerous place, and that governments will continue to spend billions of dollars on the best technology to protect themselves. Palantir makes its money primarily through large, long-term contracts with governments. The U.S. Department of Defense and other intelligence agencies are its biggest customers. These are not one-time sales. The company operates on a subscription model, where governments pay recurring fees to use its software platforms. Once a country integrates a system like Gotham into its core defense operations, it is very difficult and costly to switch to a competitor. This creates a predictable and steady stream of revenue that investors find very attractive, as it promises stability even in uncertain economic times. While government contracts are its main business, Palantir is also expanding into the commercial world. It offers a similar platform called Foundry to large corporations in industries like finance, healthcare, and energy. These companies use Foundry to analyze their own data, manage risks, and make their operations more efficient. This expansion into the private sector gives investors another reason to be optimistic. It suggests that Palantir's potential market is not limited to defense and that its future growth could be even bigger than its current government contracts suggest. Looking to the future, Palantir appears to be in a very strong position. The company's growth is directly tied to trends that show no signs of slowing down. Global defense spending is on the rise as countries respond to new threats. The world of intelligence and warfare is becoming more complex, requiring the exact kind of data integration and AI analysis that Palantir specializes in. As long as geopolitical tensions like the one between Iran and Israel exist, governments will continue to rely on Palantir's technology to maintain a strategic advantage and protect their national interests. Furthermore, the expansion of AI into every part of our lives presents a huge opportunity for the company. Palantir is positioning itself not just as a defense contractor, but as a leader in operational AI for the entire economy. Its success in the high-stakes world of national security gives it a unique credibility when selling its services to large corporations. If Palantir can successfully translate its government success into the commercial sector, its growth could accelerate dramatically. This dual focus on both government and commercial markets provides multiple paths for the company to expand in the years ahead. However, the company also faces significant risks. Its very high stock price is a major one. The valuation is based on the expectation of near-perfect execution and continued global instability. If tensions in the Middle East were to suddenly de-escalate, or if defense budgets were to be cut, investors might question whether the stock is worth so much. A slowdown in government spending could have a direct and negative impact on Palantir's revenue, causing its stock price to fall sharply from its current heights. The company's success is closely tied to a world in conflict. Finally, Palantir operates in a controversial space. The nature of its work with governments and intelligence agencies brings scrutiny over issues of data privacy and surveillance. Any political backlash or increased regulation could create challenges for its business model. Competition is also a factor. While Palantir has a strong moat, other large tech companies and nimble startups are also developing powerful AI tools. Palantir's path forward is filled with immense opportunity, but it must carefully navigate these risks to realize its full potential and justify the high hopes of its investors.